Okay.
You gotta tell you twice, right?
Nope.
We're live. It's Monday night, July 10th, just a hair after 7. Seth and I are out on the Mississippi River in Pool 20, and our special guest is just finishing his, is it Pizza Hut or Casey's?
It's frozen pizza.
Frozen pizza, Mr. Spencer Bauer. So
Is it still frozen?
it's not still frozen, is it?
I was pretty hungry.
You're kind of savage. I know you might do something like that.
I mean, no time to cook them.
A little hot out tonight. We got out just in time to find 2 shad, 3 drum, and a channel cat. Get line hung up in the prop. Wouldn't cut that out. What else?
Trolling wooden stove.
Trolling motor wooden stove, but we're good. We're solid. We got some fresh shad. We're ready to rock and roll.
We're baited up.
You're baited me. Where's my stuff?
Right here.
He's even got me baited up. So we got
Keeping the blood out of the boat
keeping the blood out of the boat.
until now.
I got a nice shad head right here. 8/0 hook. Seth's got a dropper. It looks like I'm going to be fishing on top of the water.
9 inches long.
So we're going to do a little walking here while we talk to Spencer. So, can you see the comments, Spencer?
No, the only thing I'm hoping to see is Seth catch a fish because I've never seen it before.
True.
Well,
Well, if you watch all the lives, I've caught fish on live before.
okay, I got the comments up. Mike Mitchell and Fishing with Big Mike. What's up, guys? We might put this iPad up here, actually.
Mike Mitchell's watching. Can't see me bump. It's embarrassing.
Well, they're going to see you now.
He's one of the best.
The Mike Mitchell?
Is there more than one?
I don't know. I think there's several Mike Mitchells.
I mean, there's got to be a million of them.
Yeah, that's not exactly a great name or anything.
Okay.
But there's only one that pounds on the catfish.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, there
That
might
I
be.
know of.
I don't want to offend anybody.
So we're fishing a spot. Seth had a tournament this past weekend. I got the trolling motor cranking. Sorry about that. I don't know, 9.
Hey, whatever.
We're
Maybe we're
about
going to drag baits instead.
5 foot. I wonder what was going on. I think we're in like 5 foot of water.
Taking out the
Spencer, last time we were with you, or last time I was with you, we were on fire, man, at the end, walking some baits.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you just get lucky.
Well, I don't know if that was luck, but
Was that your biggest bumping?
Second biggest. So it was right up there.
That's a stud.
Yeah, I'd take one of them every day.
Me
I
too.
don't even think I'd get tired of it.
I'd take one of them, period. I've never caught a 65 before.
I mean, I'm not sure if you've ever caught a fish before, so
True. We're going to find out here in a minute.
I hope so. Hope you make a liar out of me. I hope you catch a fish and then Alex snags up.
I hope so.
Yep.
Yeah, I made a little bet that I'd get snagged first.
yeah, which we almost messed up because I was going upriver. Trolling motor was on 9.
I think we're just drifting sideways now.
I got a little side drift going on. I like,
Hey.
kind of like a
I
little,
like it.
little side.
Just bump through it.
That's right.
Yeah.
We're just spreading the blood trail across the river, letting them know we're coming for them.
Solid strategy.
So, bait has been really tough up here. I'm talking to some people kind of across the Midwest. Have you been out lately chasing bait? Have you thought it was hard or?
I've spent a ridiculous chunk of my life that I will never get back chasing shad with little results over in my neck of the woods. I don't know what the deal is. I talked to our local fisheries biologist last week about like some fish sampling things, and then I brought up how difficult shad was to catch, and he said the reservoirs were solid, but he hadn't been in the rivers, and he's seen patterns at low water levels where there's more substantial winter kill because, I mean, we had a fairly cold winter last winter, and it's very possible.
That is
Very
true.
possible they, you had a winter kill.
You know what's strange? This spring, even out in the beginning of May, there was more shad in this pool than I've ever seen, and now they're gone.
I mean, they got to be somewhere.
Yeah. Maybe someday your YouTube will make it big enough you can pay somebody full time to just catch bait for you.
That's the real dream. Like a lot of those big YouTubers, they got camera guys and people who edit videos for them. I just want someone to catch me shad.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You do just fine filming.
I can tell you 2 people you don't want catching a shad, and it's me and Seth.
I mean, as long as you don't throw a cast net in my prop, it's fine.
It wasn't the cast net.
Cast net.
He forgot we were drifting a little jig trying to get the skipjack or something maybe, and he forgot about it. Oh, I just got tapped.
Get him.
There's a bite.
Get him.
Little channel cat.
We caught a good channel cat in the net, though.
But anyway, he forgot it was back there and turned around and sucked it right up in the prop.
Seth goes, "Hey, look at the rod." He thought we had a skipjack.
It was feeling drag.
It was feeling all right.
The world's biggest skipjack, 22-foot skipjack.
Yeah, right. 300 horses.
Right. If skipjack got 50 pounds, I'd have a hard time fishing for catfish.
No kidding. Well, it's like stripers,
Yeah, but they jump.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they call them Tennessee tarpon for a reason.
Yeah.
Tennessee tarpon.
I know you've said before, if we had stripers up here, you probably wouldn't even catfish anymore, would you?
I'd still catfish, but that would severely impact the amount of time I spent catfishing.
Yeah. I've never caught a striper, but it looks fun.
I'm going to be chasing hybrid stripers tomorrow morning.
Well, I've caught those. I've never caught a real striper though.
Where are you going tomorrow?
Probably one of our local reservoirs. I don't know if it'll be Red Rock or Sailorville or something like that, but I would say that the hybrid stripers pound for pound fight harder than the pure strain stripers. They just don't get as big.
Yeah. The regular stripers are kind of wimpy, aren't they? Once you get them in, they're pretty much going to die, I've heard.
Yeah, I mean, the hybrids are kind of like that too. It's usually when you get water temps over the hybrids are a little tougher than the pure strain stripers, but yeah, anytime water temps are over 70, 75, and if they're coming out of that warm of water, yeah, they don't do well.
Yeah. Which is a shame to catch a 50-pound fish and it doesn't make it, but it looks like a lot of fun.
I mean, it sucks bad enough when you catch like an 8-pound hybrid that you don't plan on keeping and it dies. So
yeah,
50-pounder would be the same times a million.
Right. So you had a trip down to Missouri River recently, didn't you?
Yeah, like 3 or 4 days ago.
How was that?
It was disgustingly slow for the most part. I got there and then I think it rained 2 inches. About right when we got there, it rained like 2 inches, and once it quit, we got on the water, started bumping, and caught 2 fish really quick, and then the river started filling up with junk. And that's my theory on why the bump and bite fell to pieces, because we fished for we got there in the evening, fished all day the next day, and then the following morning, and caught 1 fish bumping.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah, it was, I don't know. I learned a lot, didn't have a lot of success, learned a lot of what not to do. So now I have hopefully getting closer to figuring out what I need to do when the water comes up and starts filling up with junk. But the night bite was good, caught a couple good ones. So that kind of, made the trip.
Yeah. Looking forward to seeing those.
Yep. Posted the first video tonight. or yeah, at 4 o'clock, and then there'll be 2 more out of it.
Cool.
So you post you post 2 videos a week, is that right?
Yeah, Monday, Thursday, 4 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Nice.
And if nobody knows, which I'm sure everyone does, it's River Certified on YouTube.
Yeah, River Certified on YouTube. You know, I had a couple people asking me, you know, in messages before we went live tonight, you know, do you do this full time? How long have you been doing YouTube? Kind of give us a little backstory, maybe like what, you know, how you got into the YouTube thing, how long you've been doing it. Kind of go over some of the history of that.
Oh, I'm trying to think. So probably the first video I ever edited was 6-7 years ago now. My wife got me a camera for my birthday, or yeah, it was my birthday, because I'd been watching some YouTube videos, and I'm like, maybe I'll get a camera. Editing video might be fun because I like making stuff. I like drawing. I like I build my own fishing rods and
Yeah.
stuff like that, little DIY projects. So I'm like, maybe I'll edit a video. So I got a video camera and edited a video, and I don't know, I just kind of sat on it for a while. I didn't do anything with it and was just playing around with video editing, and ended up throwing it up on YouTube, and it got a few views, and I was like, well, that's kind of neat. So I don't know, maybe 6-7 months later, I made another one and kind of did a little better, and then did another one, and it kind of got a little better. And I think about probably 4 or 5 years ago, I kind of started making about the time I learned you could make money. Like when I started doing it and didn't know you could make money, I just started making some more and more videos, and then found that out. I'm like, well, I could help pay for my gas by editing these videos, and I really like editing. It's pretty fun. So I just went hard at it, and then started making more money and more money and more money, and enough money where I could come up with a business plan to do it full time, or full time, part time, I guess you might say, because I run guide trips. So I do YouTube, I run guide trips, and do affiliate marketing through my YouTube, and I guess that's pretty much it right now. Mainly run guide trips and make YouTube videos.
Which are kind of intertwined. A lot of the guide trips are because of your YouTube videos, I think.
Oh, absolutely. I can probably count on one hand how many guide trips I've ran with people who didn't know I had a YouTube channel.
Right.
So you do kind of special guide trips, unlike a lot of others where they want to spend like a day or two camping and get the whole experience. You'll do that too then, right?
Yep. And those are some of my favorites. Like, and most of them are people who are really, really, really want a big flathead, like really, really. And I mean, time's like the number one thing you can invest towards catching a big flathead. And those have been the trips where we've caught the biggest fish. Like, it's just worked out well. Like caught a 53 or a client caught a 53 last May. So that was sweet. He booked a 42-hour trip. So we were out there for
42-hour trip.
Yeah.
Wow.
Dude's crazy. He's a tattoo artist from Texas, and he's like, man, I've always dreamed about catching a big flathead, and I want to, invest into the best opportunity for him, like for himself, to catch a big flathead. And it was really cool that it worked out for him, because like that's a lot of money, and that's a lot of pressure on me to make sure he gets the opportunities he's looking for. And fortunately, it worked out on that one.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, that is sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Is he the one that you got his bait tattooed on you?
What's that?
He the one that you got his bait, the bait he's using tattooed on you?
Oh, I was like, I thought you said his face tattooed on me. I'm like,
Right on your back, right?
things just got weird. Yeah, I got hold on. We got a dog fight going on.
You had a bite, or you just joking?
No, I did. I mean, it felt like at least a 60.
All right, I broke it up. No, I got a bullhead tattooed on my leg, because I said the first client that catches a 50-pounder, whatever bait it eats, I'm going to get that tattooed on me. And the same applies first 80-pound blue cat, whatever that thing eats, I'm going to get that bait tattooed on me somewhere.
That's cool.
Yeah.
What's the chances that be like some strawberry chicken?
0. But it would be kind of funny.
It would.
It'll probably be a big gizzard shad head, and I'm already imagining it like with a gizzard shad head with a 10-aught running through its nose and like X's in its eyes.
That would be sweet.
Yeah.
You know Trevor Niederhoff?
I know the name. I've never actually talked to the guy.
You go to his Facebook, he's got a skipjack tattooed on his hand, and it's pretty sweet. It's really realistic.
That's awesome.
Skipjack head with a hook in it.
Somebody, there's a couple people that had my shad head tattooed.
Really?
Yeah,
The guts hanging out and everything.
with the guts hanging out. Yeah,
Oh, I
Nice.
hate that.
it's a little nasty.
I wore it to a kid's birthday party, and she did not like it. So this is real life. That's what we do.
That's what we do,
Yeah.
man. It's you gotta live it, right?
Just dirty old cat fisherman.
The lifestyle.
Yeah.
Current picks up a little bit here, doesn't it?
A little bit.
Spencer, you notice I'm always running the trolling motor.
I have noticed that 2 times in a row now.
It's your boat.
The last
It was
time
your
it wasn't his
It
boat.
wasn't.
Well, we don't need to talk about that. The past is the past. I mean, live in the time.
I mean, depends on what data point you want to look at. Moral of the story is he's still running the trolling motor.
Exactly, and that's just what I wanted to get the point across.
Yeah.
When you got it, you got it. I ain't got it.
I was gonna release a little bit of water.
Uh-oh. Pick up current. Turn them on. Let's go.
So, you were teaching before this fishing stuff, then, right?
Yeah, I was a junior high science teacher.
So you haven't been teaching for how long then? 3 years, 4 years?
This is going on the 3rd year doing this.
Wow.
Yeah, blows my
Did
mind.
you ever think you'd be doing it
Really?
full time?
What's that?
Did you ever think you'd be doing it full time?
I mean, when I started, I didn't even know you could make money. So, gosh. Hey, Skip, come here. Come here. So, fun side story. Skip, come here. But, come here. So this idiot here, this is Skip. His full name is Skipjack Herring, but we call him Skip for short. No. But no, man, like I had no idea. I didn't have a plan or anything like that. I always dreamed about fishing as much as I possibly could. And to turn it into a career just means I get to be on the water more.
Yeah.
Spend a pile of time editing, so that's a big chunk of it. And that's
You're
something
trying to work in finding somebody to do edits for you to help you get more time on the water.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a few people help me with some videos, especially recently, but I'm kind of cheap. I guess that's part of it, and also kind of particular. I'm not the greatest editor in the world, but there's certain aspects of videos I think are important, and like if you pay attention to the YouTube analytics over time, there's certain trends and things that play out that lead to increased watch time. Based on how you edit your trip and how you tell a story. And I try to work those things into each video. And I've had a few people help me out with editing and to train, like to communicate those aspects is not always the easiest.
Yeah, and when you get someone else editing, I mean, even if they do a great job, it's still, you can kind of tell that someone else is
Yeah,
doing
because
it.
I mean, editing's kind of an art, you know.
Yeah, and everybody has their own style. But different styles are okay as long as they're engaging. And
Yeah. Do you do much stuff?
I do much what?
Do you do much live video? Or is it,
I have in the past, and I've done a few TikTok lives, but my like the revenue generated and the overall watch time and stuff like that isn't as high for lives, at least on my channel. I think a lot of it just depends on how you build your channel. Like I didn't start mine doing a bunch of lives. I started mine with edited videos, so my lives didn't do as well just because that's not why people subscribed.
yeah.
And I think that's a big part.
Let me see if I can see some of these comments here. Doug said, Alex, don't hope you didn't forget the boat ladder. I don't think I've gone in a while. Skip hasn't been in a video in a while, said Cody Younger.
He's been bad luck. He's been out in the boat a fair amount, and he just can't put him in the boat.
Getting a little trash here. Feel it?
The last podcast, he pooped on Ryan's floor and carried it to Ryan's feet.
He's a disgusting creature.
Was that
I mean-
the dog?
Who
I
are
mean,
you talking about? You or the dog?
the dog this time.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. I grew out of that a long time ago. Are you guys going to catch a fish or what?
I doubt it.
Man, I had a little tap, and then, I mean, I don't know about. I think Seth was hooked up on a rock or something. Or
I got a tap, but it felt like it was probably under 50, so I pulled it out of his mouth. I shook him off.
Saving him for that next tournament.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Watch all these bass guys shake them off. I figure we better start doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually a good idea. Just shake them off. I mean, technically, we caught a catfish today.
That's true. Pretty nice one, too.
It was a nice channel. I just don't like it's low water. Not a lot of current. Not a lot of places to bump.
Does it get low enough and slow enough where you can drag in that pool?
We were dragging 2 days ago.
Yeah, the problem is like especially at night, the mayflies. I don't know if I was gonna ask somebody down south if they get bad, but
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Cody
they
was posting
are-
the other day in Alabama, they had them terrible.
horrible this year. And I think it's just because this slow water. I mean, they were terrible last weekend.
Yeah, they're disgusting, too. They smell so bad.
I mean, my boat's still covered up.
It's good
Yeah,
for
we're-
it. Helps break that motor in faster.
We were just talking about the hours he has on this thing already.
21 hours,
22.
22 and a half.
Nice.
And it's what? A month old?
About a month old.
That's half a work week.
Yeah, but when you're not a guide, you know. I've only got 50 on mine. I've had it since December.
Yeah. I actually, for as long as I've had my boat, I don't have that many hours on it because on the places I fish, I don't drive that far.
Yeah, I mean, where the hours add up is scanning, it seems like.
Yeah.
So what boat are you fishing out of now? And are you just doing boat? Do you do some kayak? You do some shore?
Well, the boat I got now that I've had for going on the third year, I bought when I went full time, is it's a Sea-Ark 2072 modified V-Jet tunnel, and it's got a 150 105 Mercury on the back. It's a tiller. It's big, wide open boat. It's short enough still where I can turn it around in some tight areas, which a lot of the stuff I fish is pretty skinny, pretty tight, but it's big enough where I can accommodate like 3 people very comfortably, and you can still have a good fishing experience where they don't feel like you're stepping over everybody, But yeah, I mean, I've always dreamed of having a Sea-Ark, to tell you the truth. I mean, I remember the first time I saw one, and I'm comparing it to the 16-foot riveted John boats I'm used to seeing, and then I see this thing show up, and it looks like it's part boat, part tank, and I'm like, I need to get me one of them someday.
They do make a heck of a boat, for sure.
So now you're looking at doing kind of like traveling more and doing some tournaments next year, and you've already done a few tournaments. Actually, I did one with you, which was fun. What's your thoughts on the tournament side of things?
I mean,
crunch time, you got to hurry.
I'm a competitive guy for the most part. I hadn't dove deep into the tournaments because, like, I'll be honest, the first tournament I ever fished, I don't know. I didn't feel like it. I was very. It's not that I didn't feel. How can I word this? I didn't feel like I was wanted there. I guess I was kind of the new guy, and everybody looked at me like, "Who the hell is this dude?" And I didn't have a lot of money or a lot of time, so I'm like, is this a place where I want to spend my time? And I had plenty of competition in my life because that's when I was in college. I was wrestling, and that's about as competitive as environment as there is. So I kind of had that experience right off the bat and never went back to it. And then had a couple of other opportunities to hop in on a few and then did. And then did a few kayak ones, and those were fun. And then the more and more I thought about it, the more I'm like, it just something that I think if I just dive whole hog into, I'll really enjoy. And so far I have. Like, I've fished 6 tournaments in my whole life, and 3 of them have been this year. And I'm actually planning on fishing the Muscatine one coming up, and then hopefully Seth and I'll fish the one down in St. Joe the weekend after that. But I'm excited about the whole tournament thing, and I'm excited about. I mean, I'm gonna end up selling my boat this fall and moving into a big water rig, and to run trips on bigger water, guide trips on bigger water, and be able to fish tournaments on bigger water. It's, I don't know, the more and more I think about it, the more and more excited I get about it.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's funny you say that. I fished my first tournament in probably would have been 2010 or 2011. I got the same vibe. I feel like catfish tournaments have kind of evolved a little bit.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the Central Missouri tournaments that you and I fished, totally different atmosphere, man. Like, everybody was super friendly and super easy to talk to, and I didn't get stared at the whole time. So I don't know. I just had a lot of fun, man, and can't wait to fish the next one, honestly. And there's a few coming up, so we'll see. Apparently something's going down.
All right, we're back. We lost you for a second. You there, Spencer? All right, we're back. We lost you for a second.
There was a lot of things happening there for a second.
Could you see us the whole time?
No, it was just like you froze. And I pulled it up on Facebook to see what was going on there. Wasn't
Yeah, we
sure if I
went-
was just sitting here awkwardly not saying anything while everybody was looking at me, but apparently that wasn't the case.
No, we went under a bridge. I think we lost signal.
Gotcha.
But so anyway,
We're back.
that whole last part you said, I think we missed all of it.
I don't remember what we were talking about. Oh, tournaments?
Yeah.
And how much more welcoming all the tournaments I've fished have been. It's in an atmosphere where, if you're somebody new and you just want to show up, like you're going to have a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that Central Missouri, if anybody's thinking about fishing tournaments, the Central Missouri tournaments, 100%. Super fun, super good time, super good people. I had a blast. And I still have dogs fighting.
This has been
And
interesting thus far.
And then I fished the Winter Blues on Wheeler. Same deal down there. That was a ton of fun, and it was super cool. Everybody's awesome.
Yeah, it seems. I mean, we try really hard to make everybody feel welcome too. It seems like everybody's really, really pretty cool with everyone nowadays.
Yeah.
There's a few here and there, but
You always have a few bad apples, but it's a lot of fun. And I seen a guy tonight at the gas station. We pulled up, me and Seth, and actually there's two. I'll see if I can kind of show you. There's two Sea Arcs just right above us. Pro Cat and a Dynasty. I don't know who the Pro Cat is, but Cody Vickers is in the Dynasty, and they were wanting to bet me and Seth $500 tonight.
There's definitely a certain group of guys in the catfishing scene who just like throwing money on the line, put a little skin in the game,
Dude, I don't know. Like once you fish a few tournaments, you just get fired up, and it's fun being competitive. And I think
it's addictive, that's for sure.
it's addictive. And one thing that I've noticed is like even myself, where until I got into the tournament scene, like you just go out and have fun, and you don't maybe put a lot of effort in. But when you're fishing a tournament, you throw everything you have at it, and you really adapt and change techniques or whatever.
I think the focus is.
Yeah, you focus now. Even just like the tournament we did, where we at the end of the tournament we finally decided let's go bump, and then 5 minutes we got a 65 in the boat. You know what I mean? So if we would have done that earlier, we learned. If we were out just fun fishing, who knows if we would ever have done that?
Right.
Yeah, we would have been back at the Mexican restaurant.
Yeah, we would have been drinking margaritas, eating tacos at the Mexican.
Say I would have had my third beer down the hatch by the time we got that 65.
No kidding. They're not biting today. That is one cool thing about tournaments is now they are biting. Like I've never been to a tournament where nobody weighed a fish.
Oh, dude, that's.
Well, hold on a second. Hold on. This Saturday, you rode a tournament where I did.
No, where no one weighed a fish.
I fished a tournament this weekend, Spencer, me and my son. Granted, we didn't put any effort in, like getting bait or anything, but
They didn't catch bait.
we didn't catch bait. We had somebody give us some bait, and I used some 3-year-old skipjack, which is no excuse.
It sounds like you're making excuses.
No,
Just
I
saying.
mean it is, but
I mean, I've seen an excuse, and that kind of looks like an excuse.
yeah. And we didn't get. Not only did we not catch fish, we didn't get a bite.
What I'm saying though is the whole field not catching a fish. They're biting somewhere. Where I used to say, oh, they're just not biting today. They're biting. You just don't know where they're at.
Somebody always gets them,
Yep.
except maybe
Somebody's
the
gonna
Missouri.
catch- Dustin Cannell always says somebody's going to catch him. It might as well be me.
Yep.
Yeah.
I can get behind that.
I think I'm going to cut that into my turf when I get my boat turf. I'm going to put that somewhere.
Yeah. Jake Nally just said, don't side bet Alex at his tournament. He's talking to Joe Lunsford. Joe would always bet me at the captain's dinner. He'd say, hey, he would go around and betting on who's going to win. I said, let me in on that bet. I'll bet you that you don't get over 100 pounds.
Well, you're always winning. That's the problem.
And now he can. I mean, he's got over 100 pounds before, but it's a good bet on my side to bet that. So,
I mean, the odds are in your favor big time on that.
Yeah.
Because you could make that bet 10 times, and even if you lose Like you're going to win 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10, easy.
Yeah.
Well,
Vinny said he'd be 500 up right now.
well, I say that I don't know Joe at all, and I don't know what his tournament like credentials are. So maybe I'm off on that.
He's
No, he's good.
won.
He's a chronic gambler. He loves. And if
yeah.
he's on here right now, don't even argue, Joe. You know you are.
He'll be at the casino. I mean, if there's a casino close by, that's where he's going to be at all night.
He likes to throw money.
Literally all night.
We had a
Yeah.
Calcutta, the very first tournament he ever came to. Talk about feeling welcome. Very first tournament we had a Calcutta, which for those of you who don't know, you bid on teams, and whatever team wins the tournament, you win your money. Basically, is how it works. He bet like what $2,700 out of $3,200 was his.
Yeah. But it's paid off for him several times.
Oh yeah, he won it. But he profited $500 on a $3,000 bet. But it worked out. He hedges the odds in his favor most of the time.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a strategy too.
Yeah. If you buy everybody, you're gonna win.
Yeah, I suppose.
Well, yeah, it'd be bad if you bought almost everybody and then lost.
He pretty much did. I know, he's a cool dude. He's a lot of fun to be around.
He was on here probably a few months back.
Yep. Yeah, he's a guide with which company in St. Louis he with? STL or Show Me?
He'd be with Show Me, I think.
Yeah,
Show Me.
Yeah, he's a Show Me.
Yeah, I listened to that one. That was a good one.
Yeah, he's a fun dude.
Yeah, he's been doing good. He's had a really good year. He got into it a couple years ago and just been hard at it.
Mm-hmm.
Slowly slipping her
That's
name.
fine, man. Just curious.
What else? Ken said, "Wish I'd known that the Blues were biting Saturday night. Might have been a different outcome."
Ken Miller?
This is the spot where this spot right now where we're fishing is where I got hooked into catfishing. Caught my first blue cat right here.
Is that Ken Miller?
Ken Miller
Yep.
said that. Yeah.
Well, he got third.
Ken Miller, the catfish killer.
Yeah, he really, played the odds in a really bad way. He locked up in a blue cat tournament and still got third. I mean, they're good. Him and Mike are a heck of a pair.
He's a hammer, man. Like I got to go to ICAST one year with him, and I got to I knew him a little bit before, but got to know him really well on that trip, and had a really good time, and got to pick his brain a little bit, and might have stole some ideas, might not have. Appreciate it, Ken. Had a good time, man.
Yeah, no, in a blue cat tournament, he locked up to where there's no blue cats on Earth, and caught 5 channel cats, then locked back down, and stuck a 32-pound flathead in like the last hour or two. Correct me, Ken. I can't remember what time you said it was, but
Sounds like something he'd do.
yeah. They got one.
Yeah, so we're just kind of up at the dam. There's kind of like a channel that kind of comes right through here. Which we can't really go underneath that bridge. We lose service when we go underneath the bridge.
That's that same stretch we were just on. They hooked up.
You're not wiggling your worm right, bud.
Yeah.
I will say there have been no snags, though.
Well, we've ran into some stuff. We're just
You're
not giving us enough credit, I think.
I've got he put a float on mine, and I think I got a 4.5 foot.
Come on now.
4.5 foot dropper. So
Come on.
I'm fishing all this on the surface. I just see my shad right there. That's what it was. See that?
I'm under the boat.
You know, it's always hard. I mean, it's hard to catch fish on camera. Am I right? And we're not recording.
He does it for a living.
I know, but
They just stuck. That looks like probably 25 or 30.
we're live.
There is something, man, to being live. There's something to any camera. Like, for no reason in particular, I swear it makes it twice as hard to catch fish. But to be live, it's like 10 times harder. Because when you're fishing, just fishing, like a half hour flies by and you're not thinking of it and you don't catch anything, who cares? But a half hour on live goes by and you don't have a fish, it feels like an eternity.
Yeah.
Yeah. No doubt. That's a good one.
There you are.
So yeah, you guys should catch one.
Hey, if you guys want to see a fish, look over Alex's right shoulder.
Yeah, I'll try to. Did they already got a net?
Oh, he was just holding it up for the camera.
Got an 80 over there.
There he
They
is.
got one there.
Uh-oh.
Can I see that or not?
Don't hit the bridge.
They're running so they must be running a generator
Yeah, it sounds
Right.
like it.
because we're running pretty hot, so it's pretty fast water, but it's not. It's weird to bump because it's not deep, and we're in 12 foot of water.
Really?
Yeah, and we're barely moving. I got the trolling motor on 9.
That is weird. I've never bumped in 12 feet.
We don't have a
Well,
lot.
if you go further down, it just drops. I mean, you get some deeper water, but you just don't have any current at all. You know, them blues love that current.
Yes, they do. Especially when there ain't none.
No gates are really even open.
Look at that.
What?
Never mind. Nothing.
Look at what?
Nothing.
Tell me.
Nothing. They go. These guys must be traveling together.
Yeah, I don't know who these guys are.
Well, they just wanted to come and catch one fish and then took off, I guess.
Yeah. Maybe they're going for more pictures.
No, they threw it back. Maybe they ran out of bait.
Yeah, bait's been super tough. Super tough.
Well, at this rate, you guys have plenty of bait.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, that's what I was telling Seth. I'm like, all we need is really 2 pieces of bait, or 1.
And then we caught 2. So
It's got 2 shad. We threw it quite a few times. Seth ruined his net first throw today.
no,
Second throw.
we're exaggerating a little bit.
He just got a little, in my opinion, he got a little aggressive on the retrieval. I think if he could have wiggled the net a little bit,
I threw right in the
yanked it.
top of a cottonwood tree.
He could have brought the whole limb and everything up,
The
but
tree
instead
started
he just,
to come out, but
yeah.
it wasn't good. We weren't getting it back. Wasn't the first one, it won't be the last. How many nets do you think you've ruined over the years, Spencer?
I spent $800 in cast nets last year.
This year?
Last year. I'm
Wow. You
I'm
need a
trying-
net sponsor.
That'd be pretty neat.
Hey, Phytech sponsors a couple catfishermen. They might be. I like Betts nets though.
I like Betts. I like Betts a lot. Most of the ones I use right now are Bait Buster and Joyfish. They make a really nice.
Yeah.
Both of them make really nice
That's-
nets.
My favorite net's a bait buster, and if Jason Hamilton's on here, I had that net 8 foot, 5/8,
Beautiful
and
net.
beautiful green net. Never had an issue with it. Probably 3 solid years of good luck with it. Hamilton ruined the net and borrowed it. That was it. That was it.
Well, you're right. But you bought it one of the Joy ones and you didn't like it, huh?
No. I've got a Betts like deep net, and it's terrible. It's
They just
broke.
fall.
It's
They're
just
just really slow. Like they fall slower than like the Phytex and stuff.
Well, he was throwing Betts tape net
I've got a
in
tape net.
4 foot of water. So that was interesting. But
It's worked for me though. I mean, when that's what you got, that's what you got.
that's what you
I
gotta
mean,
throw.
if you get it to open up, all you got to do is get it to open up.
Right.
Yeah, but as far as cast nets go, you never name your cast net. You know, you don't want to get too attached.
No. I usually go through 3 or 4 a year.
Yeah.
That was number 2. That was number 2 this year. So
So I like a bait buster or a black pearl net. I've never tried a black pearl.
It's kind of hard for me to spend, $250 on a cast
Isn't a
net.
black pearl like a really high end, like hand, like
I think it's a pirate ship that like haunted or something. They made a movie about it.
I don't think we're talking about the movie. I think we're talking about the net. This is incredible. I mean, I'm the only one that's got a few bites.
Oh, fake news.
You want to throw a bet on who's going to catch first fish? What
Wow.
if neither of us catch one?
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
Is it a push on my bet if neither of you snag up and lose a rig?
No, I think you owe us.
I'll be
Oh.
honest. The only reason I've not snagged up yet or Seth is because he's got, like I said, we're fishing top water right now.
I mean, sinker's on the bottom, so maybe
Sinker's
that's,
on the bottom,
maybe
but it's a
that's the
4.5 foot drop. I mean,
we are in, your boat, and you don't have any leaders. So
I haven't had a chance to tie everything up.
come on now.
Well, we got a $20 you get skunked bet coming in. I'm
Ouch.
not
Who's that? Tom?
Tom Stoles.
Come on now, Tom. That hurts. I put you on some fish this year, and that's how you're going to talk to me.
Yeah, we get Tom
No,
on some channel cats.
nobody's grateful anymore.
It's terrible.
No, Tom's awesome. He's a heck of a photographer. If you ever need any pictures taken, Tom Stoltz is the guy.
Gotcha.
And he usually doesn't want anything for it, which is crazy. He just does it because he loves it.
He takes some aw.
Dude, he's
The cool thing, like his lifestyle shots, man. I mean, they're just
Yeah.
awesome.
He came to, we had a tournament in Alton 2 years ago. Nobody knew who he was, including us. He just took a bunch of pictures and posted them on Facebook without saying anything to anybody. And they were some of the best tournament pictures I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Didn't want any credit or anything like that. Just out there for fun. We had to kind of hunt him down to figure out who he was.
Yeah, I think I'd look up like on the River Bills Facebook page to see where he had posted some stuff. But yeah.
He's a heck of a good dude.
Yeah,
He's
so our
back
next,
again.
speaking of that, tournament side of things, our next tournament is July 22nd in Cape Girardeau, which is going to be coming up. That's going to be a big fish tournament. And then 2 weeks later, we're going to be in Muscatine. You'll be at that tournament. And then we just added a tournament August 19th in Caruthersville, Missouri. Then after that, it's going to go August 26th in Pekin, Illinois. Then where are we at? Then September 2nd, Canton, Missouri, Jack and Jill. The next weekend, Alton Classic. That's where you should fish the Classic.
Me?
Yeah, Kevin was asking about that. That's a good tournament, $100 tournament.
If I could find somebody to hop in a boat with, because I don't have a live well that would accommodate a winning stringer at the Open Classic.
That's I like it. That's being positive. You already know you need a big live well.
Yeah, that's it.
Some of these guys will show up with a 5-gallon bucket and say, they'll fit in here. That's the wrong attitude to have.
That's the wrong attitude. Yeah.
I got about a 40-gallon DIY live well rigged up for Muscatine. So if I luck onto a big flathead, I'm gonna have to zip back to the weigh-ins as quick as possible.
We'll be there waiting.
He'd fit in it, but he wouldn't have to.
All right, we got to make a move back up. Get out of this under this bridge. We're gonna reel in, move up again.
Where are we going?
We're just gonna keep moving over. We're gonna go to the top of this drift. So we're gonna go like where this channel starts. It's kind of what we call the honey hole. That if you're from this area or you fish a lot, this is where everybody's at. Your stuff good there? All right. So kind of go in. Oh yeah, cold motor. Sorry. Captain, Captain right here.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to go behind Cody and then to the right and kind of up past them where we started.
To the right of him?
To the right. We'll just tell them.
What's that? Don't get too crazy. Don't get too crazy. That box.
Well, you can't see that perfect, but what we're doing is there's like a channel, so we're just going to kind of fish this channel. We're fishing Seth's spot, but it all kind of goes down to where a lot of people catch fish. See that, Spencer? Showing up real nice for you?
Oh, yeah. I discovered that spot.
We're in Colorado, by the way, so don't try and find this.
It's easy to find. Just come out here and look where all the boats are at. I've been doing it 10 years. Here you go. Oh, man. Okay, so let's see. I might shorten my stuff up a little bit. What size weight do you got on?
3.
What do I got?
2.
All right, we're back at it. Can you hear us good? Are you got good service, Spencer?
I think so.
He's been clear so far, I think.
So who was asking about the size of the jerseys? Yeah, we go up to 3X. I've got the stuff on there.
So I'm a pretty hefty guy, I'd say. 6'2", almost 300 pounds, and I wear a 2X. They run like pretty big.
Yeah, they're not the athletic fit. They're I think they call them the classic. The classic.
A classic runner. Where do they come from? Like Polynesian areas?
No, they're made in 6'6" Apparel makes them in Indianapolis.
You ever buy a Hawaiian shirt? Like a medium will fit at like a 400-pound dude.
I'll be honest, I've never bought a Hawaiian shirt before.
There's a reason for sizing.
Spencer, have you?
I've stolen them out of my dad's closet for ridiculous, like just to dress ridiculous at school. That's about it.
Yeah, it's a cell phone cam that's lagging. I think I don't have it hooked to the internet.
You just need to catch a fish, and then everything goes smooth.
Dude,
after that.
It's just, that's how it is. I'm telling you, we get off the live video and it'll be game on.
We'll post a picture on Facebook. We'll get off live at 8:30. 8:35 we'll have a fishing boat.
You know what? If we don't post a picture, you know what happened? I guarantee you we lost one at the boat. Or maybe 2.
You guys are just pressing too hard, you know. You getting flustered with the cast net and the bait, and then the wrapping the line around the prop, and just got to let it all go, and then the fish will come.
They can feel the energy.
Yeah. I mean, it translates from your brain to your hand, all the way to the bait at the end of your rod.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you gotta bump more freely, more carefree.
See, I think they like a little hip hop. I think we play some hip hop real loud. Good vibrations.
What's your thoughts on playing music?
He wants pure silence in the boat?
You're kind of a silent guy, right?
It depends on the scenario. So if I'm fishing flatheads at night in 3 feet of water on a creek I can jump across, I try to keep it pretty quiet. But if I'm on the Mississippi or Missouri, big water, deeper water, a lot more current, a lot more turbulent areas, like sound's less of an issue in those types of areas. But I don't think there's ever a downside to being quiet. Like there could be a downside to playing music really loud. Like there could be. It might matter, it might not, but there's no downside to just being quiet.
Yeah, that's true.
But with that
Unless
being
they-
said,
Unless they
the-
like Tupac, you never know.
I mean, maybe some Easy E.
There you go.
Easy is good for them. I think they like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
What were we listening to out there that time? We had some oldie stuff playing. What was it?
I don't remember. You know, my neighbor asked me what I was doing last weekend, and it took me 10 minutes. No kidding. It took me 10 minutes to remember what I did last weekend. I was sitting there.
That's not good because you're like 23.
I'm 28. I can't remember nothing. I can barely remember my first name.
I thought he was 19.
He might act like he's 19, but he says he's 28. So
Yeah.
That's another. I thought I was 29. I'm not.
Kevin said Miley Cyrus.
Yeah.
You know what, Miley
Oh,
Cyrus? She got some
what is
good
that?
tunes.
Party in the USA or something. What is her?
Party in the USA, and
That's
then
it.
like that Wrecking Ball is a good one.
Yeah, Catfish love Wrecking Ball. I've heard.
Hey,
Catfish is
I
awful.
was exercising before this podcast, and Miley Cyrus came on, and I'm not gonna lie, I felt a little energized.
You hit a PR.
Really?
Yeah, like 2 PRs.
Now we're getting somewhere.
Yeah.
Fastest hopscotch you ever done? Or?
Yeah, hopscotch and patty cake.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
Who are you fishing muscatine with?
Buddy of mine, Corey.
Is that who you fished the Missouri River with? Too?
Yep. Oh, somebody must be here. Yeah, that's who I fished the Missouri with, and me and him have been doing a fair amount of flathead fishing the last probably 2 years or so. He got
Oh, yeah.
into it. He's got a big tournament background, mainly in bass fishing. He actually fished 2 or 3 of the Bassmaster Opens this year, and he asked me a while back, like, if I'd ever be interested in tournament fishing, and at the time, not as much, but at this point in time, for sure. So, all right, man, let's give it a rip.
That's cool.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
bass
He's got a good fishing background.
I'm sure there's some translation. They're both predators.
I mean, a fish is a fish, but I mean, there's also just translation. Tournament fishing's tournament fishing. Like,
Right.
I think you need to
Mentality.
you need to know and understand your fish, but you also need to understand tournament strategy, and electronics is such a big part anymore. And he's pretty handy with the old fish finder. So
That's
no, I'm
big.
looking forward to. I enjoy fishing with him, but I'm also really looking forward to fishing tournaments with him because I think he's got a pretty solid skill set that'll be beneficial.
What do you think it'll be? I mean, it's a 5 fish limit. You think it's going to be 5 flatheads?
It's hard for me to say, man, because like I've never catfished the Mississippi River in Iowa, so this will be a first all the way around for me.
Yeah, I was just gonna say you need to come fish Keokuk with us, but we're not really putting on a very good showing for it right now, so not a lot of motivation to drive down here.
I'll make it down there one of these days. I mean, I enjoy any opportunity I can to pick on you, so fish are just a bonus.
I can appreciate that.
Yeah. But I'm excited to see muscatine. I mean, I've been on the Mississippi mainly up north. And it's cool that there's the side channels, and it's kind of a braided river. And I don't know, exploring those backwater type stuff, kind of intrigued to see what it's like. It's not as ridiculously extensive of side channels as, say, Northeast Iowa is, but it'll be cool to poke around and check it out.
How much pre-fishing are you going to do?
I'll have a couple days out there.
Cool. I'm hoping to see a lot of flatheads. We don't get to weigh a lot.
No, usually we hit a couple of tournaments, either early or late, and don't really get to see a lot of flatheads. Sometimes we'll see some decent ones down on the, lower Mississippi, but we've not really seen a lot of good ones.
I'll do my best to change that.
Sounds good.
Yeah, no promises, but we'll see.
So you're going to fish Muscatine. You need to find a partner for the Alton Classic.
That'd be one I'd be pretty excited about, is the Alton Classic.
Yeah, and then that lower Mississippi, like a Cape or New Madrid, Brothersville, those are just giant fish areas, man.
You need to get Jason Schneiderhan to fish the Alton Classic with you.
Ooh, that might be something. That's weird.
Oh, it connected to a stereo.
Oh,
Now I'm going to get hung up.
We still echo? Yeah, we are. Good now?
yeah, I don't know. I might talk to Jason, but usually he's got a couple other buddies that he fishes tournaments with, so we'll see.
Yeah.
Tell him to leave them other buddies at home.
He's never took my advice, and he's probably because he's a very smart man.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, he's a heck of a fisherman.
Yeah,
he fishes Central Missouri ones sometimes, doesn't he?
Yep.
I've seen it pop up. Yeah.
Yep. No, he fishes with Brian Saunders and
Spat.
Oh, the Spat dog.
Spat dog.
Yeah. And they get them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I was looking at the Central Missouri tournament results, and I think Brian and is it Nate Spatafora? Is that his first name? Nate?
John Spatafora.
John, they won the last one on Truman, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. They win a lot, I think.
Well, they were Angler of the Year like 2 years in a row or 3 years in a row or something like that.
Yeah.
No, I had a good conversation with Brian. I didn't know who he was and ran into him at the boat ramp when I was pre-fishing for that first tournament down in Miami, and had probably 10, 20-minute conversation with him, talking to him about the talons he had on the back of his boat, because I was thinking about getting them, and I was leaning that direction, and he kind of helped tip me even further in that direction. I ended up getting them, and they're pretty awesome. Yeah. Not that you know anything about that, Seth.
Nope, I can't tell him down.
No.
He'd like the talon down.
Alex can power pull down now. He's got some. What are these? The
10-foot blades. Yeah, Power Pull is a big sponsor at Twisted Cat this year, so
that's sweet.
Yeah.
So, have you used the Power Pulls?
Well, we were just using them to get the line off the prop a couple months ago.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they work great.
Good deal.
But, yeah, I need to get something. That's for sure.
I don't think I could fit them in my garage.
Yeah, I've seen some guys will like deploy them a little bit to get them in the garage door.
I mean, I don't even think my ceiling's high enough once you get it through the door to be able to put them all the way up.
Yeah. They wouldn't fit in mine either. Money's a big thing, but my motor, I have to trim it down just to back it in.
Mhm.
But you can get the brackets to put them down.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, they have tilt brackets for power poles.
I'm pretty sure I seen somebody they tilted them, or did something with them.
You would think that they mount the same way that Talons do. I would assume that they would have something similar.
But they don't have a tilt bracket for the Raptors, the Minn Kota Raptors. They only have it for the Talons for some reason.
That's interesting.
That's what I thought too. I suppose they just assume people would partially lower them to put them through the door and then, put them back up once they're inside the door.
You
I
could
bet
probably
there's-
store them in the down
Yeah.
position too. They just, you can't walk around the back of the boat maybe, depending on how big your garage is. But.
Right.
Yep. First world problems, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of those in tournament catfishing.
You ain't kidding.
Mainly, where's the shad?
No kidding. That was tonight, for sure.
Well, at least I got me a 7-foot bait buster, 5/8.
On the way. Where'd you order it from?
I ordered it from.
Bluff?
No, I had to order it from like just Cast Nets or something. It's the only place that had them in stock. Lee Fisher didn't. And then I wanted the 8-foot, but I couldn't find any 8-foot. So I just want a 7 and an 8-footer. 5/8. It's kind of my go-to.
So you're telling me I shouldn't tear up my 8-footer because it'd be hard to get a new one?
Don't tear your 8-footer up.
Okay.
As if it's ever a decision you can make, right?
Well, you can decide where you throw it.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of that.
It never happens at a good time for me.
The problem is the decision is like tonight when we rolled up to his spot, Seth was about 99% sure that he wouldn't get it back. I was probably a 98, but we went ahead and threw anyways.
You got to do what you got to do.
So it's like, you probably shouldn't throw, but you throw it anyways.
One thing that's saved me I still went through a bunch of cast nets, but the thing that's saved me more cast nets than anything else is live scope. Being able to have live scope to scan around for shad, it's almost cheating.
Absolutely.
I'm excited to get some live scope. I went Garmin, I had Lowrance the last 3 or 4 years now. And the side scan, the imaging on this Garmin is unbelievable.
It is.
Yeah.
Really
It's crazy.
Yeah, the clarity on those things is pretty impressive.
Yeah, I thought mine was good, and then I rode in the boat for about 10 minutes tonight and decided that it sucks. Which Garmin unit did you end up getting?
The 8612.
Big Dog.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. You don't even have to have the power button. You just turn main power on, it comes on. It's all touch screen, no buttons on it at all.
Yeah, the touchscreen is pretty sweet. I hope to be able to add a second graph to my rig sooner than later, and I'm still trying to decide which route I want to go on that.
Yeah.
It's funny, when I bought my boat, I told myself I was going to get 4, 2 on the console, 1 on the front and 1 on the back, and I'm still at 1.
Yeah.
It's nice to have, if you're used to having 2 on the console, it's nice to have 2 just to be able to 1 can be your charts and 1 can be your side scan or however. I use side imaging a lot.
Here's a question for you, Alex. If you could only have 2 graphs in your boat, would you rather have 2 on the console or 1 on the console and 1 in the back, or 1 on the console and 1 in the front?
I got one better for you. I'm going to do a mount where I've got both on the dash. And then when I'm bumping like this, I'll have a mount on the back so I can take the one off the dash and put it on the back. And then the same with the front live scope.
You can't cheat the game.
Well, I can't afford 4 sonars on.
Me neither. That's the problem.
No, what I'm saying is if you could only have 2, you only get 2. Are you having 2 on the dash, or are you going to have 1 on the dash and 1 on the front, or 1 on the dash and 1 on the back? Which of those 3 configurations would you rather have?
I'm going to go 1 on the dash and 1 on the back, because right now I could literally pinpoint where right now we're bumping. There's this little channel that kind of cuts through where all the fish hang out. I mean, I'm probably in it just barely, but if I had this sonar like on my last boat right in front of me, I could literally just dial right, you know. That's what we do for this, you know, when we go tournament fishing down south. I mean, we always have one on the back, and then you can really pinpoint where you're at. So you don't always have to look like this all the time.
Right. That makes sense. Where's your second sonar going, Seth?
One on the back, I think.
Yeah.
But it'll probably be something similar where I can move it back and forth, because when you're dragging down south, like you said, it's nice to have one for the charts and one for side imaging all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I'm thinking I borrowed an older model that will link to my live. I think it was a Carbon or a Gen 3, one of the two. When we went to Alabama, and it made a huge difference. I didn't think that the old one would be as good for charts, but they're just as good. So I might just invest in 2 of the older ones for cheap. And you can link them to the live, and they're just as good.
Well, there's a company, I think Jake Nally was telling me, I think it's called like NBT Marine, and they're making like 17 to 24 inch units that are just HDMI.
Just like an iPad.
But they're touchscreen. I mean, they are solid.
Well, I've seen it. The only problem with them is, or not necessarily a problem, but they just screen mirror. So if you change something on one, it changes on the other. You can't look at 2 different things. So it's not like having another unit.
No, this is like having another unit. It's touchscreen.
Yeah, it's touchscreen, but when you change it here, it changes it back there too.
That I don't know. Jake, if you're on here, you might have to confirm that. He said 16 inches up to 30 inches.
Wow.
So Jake, on that, if it's what happens if you got it on the back? Does it change on the deal also, or let us know if you know that answer.
I think it just screen mirrors, and you can change it from both, but it changes on both. If that makes sense.
William said he's been using the iPad. Only thing like with the iPad and stuff, or like the other TVs, is if it's sunny out, it's just the glare kills it.
Yeah.
He said it's just a mirror, so that's right.
Yeah.
John Bergen said he's glad he switched to Garmin.
Yeah, he posted a cool photo a few months ago. Everything switched over.
Yeah.
He had a pile of stuff installed. That's a good day.
Yeah, I'm super impressed with it. I mean, you've seen it for the first time tonight.
Yeah, no, it looks really nice.
That boat bike.
I mean, from what I see, you can need all the help you can get.
Dude, I'm telling you, man.
I love that transom. I know that.
Yeah.
My boat would have took on about 40 gallons of water in there. Bilge would be kicking on right now.
It is a beautiful night. And you know what? The mayflies have not hit us yet.
Nope.
But when they start, we're going to pack up and roll.
They heard you. They're
Yeah.
on the way.
I can hear him buzzing now.
Jake said he's got a 8616 or an 8617 with your name on it. I think he's saying your name.
No.
It's Seth's name, right?
Oh, yeah. Right at you, Steph.
I'll take him.
All right, so Donna was asking, what's everybody's thoughts on Muscatine? What's the winning weight in Muscatine? So that's kind of a new event. I'm going to say Muscatine. You're going to have some good channels, but somebody's going to stick to maybe 2 flatheads. I'm going to say 5 fish, 85 pounds.
I was going to say 90.
That'd be 2 good flatheads.
Yeah.
But you figure you get
Or 5 mediocre flatheads.
Did you get a bite? Yeah, I did too.
a couple 35s, and then you mix in 3 more 5-pound channels. Yeah, it's 85.
Mike says 97, Tom 92, 79. Yeah, people are kind of saying it's going to be up there.
I'm really excited to fish that stretch. Like, I've heard really, really good things, and I've just never been on it. So that's the other cool thing about the tournaments is it's an excuse to go check out new places.
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely. There's a lot of places I would have never gone if it wasn't for tournaments, for sure.
So 85. So what about Kate? That's our next event, July 22nd. What are you thinking? I'm gonna say
It
Cape.
might be, what is it, 3
I'm gonna go
fish,
something. I'm gonna go. It's only 3 fish.
right? 155 pounds.
I'm gonna say Cape 145.
What won it last year?
So last year, I just actually looked at the stats today. 60 boats, 38 boats weighed. Total weight altogether was 1,488 pounds.
What was winning?
Winning weight, I can't remember.
Somebody will know on here.
Somebody will know. Who knows what the winning weight was? Thompson's 147.
I think that was his guess.
Didn't he? Tom, you're kind of messing with us tonight. What do you think then?
Me?
Yeah, for
I
Cape.
mean, 150-ish seems solid for 3 because you figure somebody busts a 70, 80, then you sprinkle in a couple 30s or 40s.
We weighed 2 fish over 90 there last year.
But it's also a big fish. I mean, it's a big fish, especially with low water.
That's the thing. Like, even if you get lucky and bust a big fish, like, you still got to be on a good pattern to put 2 more good ones in the boat.
Yeah.
I mean, you hit a 90, and then what if you get a 10 and a 15? You know, then you're still only at 115.
Ooh, less than 155. There's a lot of one. Yeah. Low water, I think the conditions are right for some big weights, big fish.
That Les Thompson?
Yeah.
He would know.
He would know.
But somebody always gets them. So 3 fish, I mean, 150 pounds, that's my guess.
Because you can have, I mean, you take even the championship last year in Cape, we had 2 over 90, but, you know, one of the boats that had 1 over 90 didn't even break 100.
Yeah.
You know, so it's that second and third fish that are important. You know what I mean?
Definitely. And
It's pretty cool when somebody puts together a crazy bag, you know, like that last tournament Seth and I fished. You know, there was Troy Phillips, I think, and Chris Brinegar.
Chris Brinegar, yeah, man. They have? Like
240 some pounds or something like that.
Yeah, like you put a 108 in, and then they just kept stacking them on top of them after that.
Yeah.
I think there was probably, what was it, at least 2, if not 3 fish over 80 weighed in that tournament, and then several more over 70.
I want some props. You guys talked all that smack. I just got this thing through some nasty stuff.
We got to
Did you go through that tree?
Allegedly.
probably eating bites. Did you hear what Seth's saying? He said he wants some props.
Yeah,
because he
you
didn't
guys
get
were
snagged.
talking all kinds of smack before the live started.
See, I can't see the snags, but I could see a fish if you guys would just catch one.
We've got some bites, but
Can't weigh a bite.
No. I mean, I caught fish today. I put fish in the boat today.
we did too. We put a catfish in the boat today.
It wasn't legal at all, but he went back safe and sound, so nobody worry.
It is a nice night, though.
It is.
What's Cape like? I've never been down there. Like, compare Cape to, so what, where have I? Compare Cape to the Mississippi just south of St. Louis. Like where the Merrimack dumps in. I've been down there, but
I mean, pretty similar, really.
okay.
Big water,
It's
fast.
big, you know what I mean? It just changes every couple miles. It's just a lot of changes. Deep, fast, sand, mud, rock. There's just a lot of different stuff to fish. You know what I mean?
Water.
A lot of industry. Lots of water, fast water.
What's deep down there?
100.
100 feet. I mean, just north of, Red Star has got some really deep water.
I thought somebody said last year, even with the water was 30 foot lower than normal pool last year, and they still marked a spot that was 100 feet deep.
Wow.
It was so dry last year that you couldn't put boats in the ramp. So there was a big sandbar at the bottom. You could see the bottom of the ramp, and then there was a sandbar out.
Yeah.
100 yards.
Is there a boat ramp there that, like, no matter how low it gets, you're going to be able to use it?
Yeah, there's one just north. So, I mean, Cape will get kind of iffy here pretty soon. So, we're obviously, some people are probably wondering how we're going to do Cape. We'll start at Cape and probably have to trailer north to a ramp that we have to get permission from, like we did our championship. And then we'll have to go down to Moore's Landing, which is just below the confluence, just because Cape probably won't have access unless some stuff changes.
Hopefully it doesn't come to that.
Stephanie Jordan says, come fish Cape and you will see how it is.
Whoa.
So, I mean, there you go.
Does that mean it's good?
I guess. Tom said, hopefully the rain. You know what, Tom? You're the guy to ask. What are your thoughts? Are we going to have enough rain?
Tom's also a storm chaser in his spare time.
Dude, Tom is a crazy storm chaser.
Hey, we're supposed to get an inch and a half of rain over here, so hopefully the Des Moines will be dumping some water into the Mississippi.
There you go. We'll be able to bump that scene.
So Kevin said, Alex and Seth, so explain bumping to me. I see that you're just drifting the channel, clicking ball, clicking bail, then reeling in while lifting and dropping your bait.
Just kind of like a vertical dig.
Yeah, we'll let Seth kind of explain that. His little.
We're just kind of picking baits up off the bottom of the river, letting them slip down a little bit as the boat moves downriver. Covering water.
Really targeting like ledges, structure. We're just targeting water right now.
Targeting blue catfish right now. So not doing a very good job though.
But just, yeah, kind of like drifting. You know what I mean? If you're dead sticking or whatever.
So we're going slower than the current. So the current is pulling our baits downriver. Hopefully into a fish's mouth.
Spencer, you can kind of help explain because you caught a pig in like the first 3 minutes of bumping on a tournament.
Basically, when they lift the fishing rod, they're lifting the bait and the current sweeps it downstream, and then they click their bail and let more line out so the current can continue to drift the bait downstream faster than the boat. So you're like walking your sinker down current.
So every once in a while, as I lift, you take your thumb off for a second and let out a couple feet of line. When you lose bottom, you find bottom again, you'll be able to bump 6 or 7 times and let another turn of the reel out.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to take some out. The boat's going a little too fast.
It depends who's running the trolling motor.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. We might be going we might be heading downriver.
I'd have the trolling motor off right now.
Yeah. After you let line out, though, you're supposed to catch an 80.
That's true. So I've heard. We're kind of drifting sideways right now, but that can be an effective strategy.
You know what I always love is, I always say, you know what? You want it? Here it is. And they never want to take it. Charlie Blair never wants to take it. Donna Moore.
I'm not complaining.
Seth.
You've never said that to me.
Yes,
You better not ask me.
I said it in the tournament.
No, you didn't.
Spencer.
You didn't ask me. You just ask me next time.
When?
Dude, because the boat, you both said, man, we got out of the current a little bit. I said, yeah, I'm working this, trying to get back in this seam.
We said, good job.
No, hold on. I never said you got out of the current. You asked me, hey, am I on a good line? And I said, you're doing great, Alex.
We gave you a nice pat on the back.
I did get you into a 65.
And I knew it was going to happen. You were doing a great job running the trolling motor.
We thanked you for your work. And it was nice.
Apparently you're a little rusty tonight, but it
I think
happens.
it's going great.
Dude, it's just
He's
one
just
of
a
those
little
nights
sensitive,
where
I
I'm just relaxing, man. I got to fly out in the morning down to Orlando. I still got to pack.
You getting excited for that?
Yeah, it's always fun. You know what I mean? See some of the new products that are coming out. Meet some new people down there. Brian's down there with his products with Dragon Master. So it'll be fun to go down there. Not a big fan of flying, but
Really?
it's just like, I don't know. I just hate airports.
Make you a little nervous.
It just takes forever. It seems like I got to fly to Charlotte and then Charlotte to Orlando.
We were just talking about this today. Somebody got stuck in a layover, and they weren't allowed to leave the airport, or they were going to cancel their tickets or something. And it'd be a great idea if an airport opened a hotel inside, where you go stay in a hotel room instead of sleeping on the floor.
I think Orlando has one.
Do they?
Yeah.
Apparently, St. Louis does not.
St. Louis definitely does not.
Because they asked if they'd go stay in a hotel across the street, and they said absolutely not.
No, St. Louis is a no-go on there.
Amateurs.
Any other questions on there?
DFW does. Tyler, we've been just knocking the heck out of them, bud. Don't rewind this video, though. No, Bertolo. What's your thoughts on the tournament in September on Lake Keystone in Oklahoma?
Who said that?
Andy Allen.
Be a lot of fish.
That's one that I kind of want to fish.
I like that. You kind of want to fish all of them.
I do. But that one, I fished that lake this spring and had a whole lot of fun.
You fished
Oh, did
Keystone?
you?
Yeah.
Oh,
Snag.
you're distracting. No, that was a bite.
Yeah.
I would have I wasn't pulling on it. I would have snagged you that.
He had a snag. You see that, Spencer, on the other camera?
I mean, I just hear excuses is all.
Hey, push the other side of that.
You just got to agree with it. I seen it.
Seth, how much did that bite weigh?
What's that?
How much do you think that bite weighed?
He
I'm
shook
going to
it.
say at least 6 or 7 ounces.
He shook it off.
It's always when you're doing something. That's what we need to get up and cook or
It is. It
Do
literally
something like
is
that.
always when you're doing something.
take a leak real quick.
No, but Keystone, that'd be one I'd like to fish just because it's a fun lake. There's a pile of fish, and then you still have the wild card because there's some nice ones mixed in, and there's also a bunch of flatheads in there too. So you never know when one of them might pop up.
What time of year did you fish it?
April.
Is that the one you fished with Kevin?
Yeah.
If I remember right, they're real shallow, weren't they?
That time of year they were, but it'll be a different ball game in September. But there's still a pile of fish in there.
Right, for sure.
So you think it'll be like a dragging game, or?
That'd be my guess. I mean, just thinking about what water temps will be like, and there'll be that late summer type pattern probably still in September would be my guess. So. But there's so many fish in that lake that you could catch them a bajillion different ways. But I think the trick will be finding the right ones. Like everybody's going to catch fish, but finding the right fish to win the tournament's going to be the big deal.
Kind of like Truman, there's just a pile of fish, but there are not a lot of giants.
Yeah.
Yeah, but kind of like Truman, there's still some big dogs mixed in that.
Yeah.
If
Yeah,
you
had the 50.
you stick that right one. I mean, there's a guy I know from up here went on a guided trip on Truman probably 4 or 5 years ago now, and they caught like an 85.
Wow.
Yeah. It was one of those short, fat ones that looked like it swallowed a toddler.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I want to go down and catch Lieutenant Dan on Whaling sometime. He's pretty famous. You've seen that one, haven't you? It's like 50 pounds, but it's like 14 inches long.
What are you talking about?
On Wheeler Lake, there's a fish they call Lieutenant Dan.
Just
Because-
one?
I don't know. Who is it? Wade's caught it twice, and it looks like the same fish.
Oh, you're talking about that one that has that, like the fish that has the giant ass head? Oh, sorry.
It literally, I think it weighs 50 pounds, and it's like 28 inches long or something like that.
Well, there's one like that at Lake of the Ozarks, too, that he caught.
Yeah.
They caught it both in a tournament in the fall and a tournament in the spring. Had like a broken tail, so it was still an under.
But it was a 50-pound under.
It's got a 80-pound head and no tail.
It was. I don't think it was a 50 pounder. You know how them cat fishermen?
That'd be ideal, wouldn't it?
Yeah, A 14-inch, 50-pound catfish. Come on,
I
man.
said like 24 inches.
Yeah, that would be a giant.
It is giant. The one I saw.
So have you fished Lake of the Ozarks before, Spencer?
Yeah, not for a long time. I would actually the first blue cat I ever caught in my life was out of Lake of the Ozarks.
So you think Keystone's similar to Lake of the Ozarks?
I haven't fished Lake of the Ozarks enough, like actually fished it. Most of my fishing on Lake of the Ozarks is from the bank, so I haven't been able to, get out on the water and really look around like I got to on Keystone. Kevin was awesome. Like he took me on a boat ride. We went all the way around the whole lake from one creek arm to the next. It was pretty, I don't know. It was a really fun day all the way around.
Pretty big lake.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard for me to quantify because we were going like 55 miles an hour and I'm not used to going 55 miles an hour. So it didn't seem like it took all that long to drive from one end to the other.
Yeah.
But it's a cool lake. It's pretty. What's that?
He likes to drive, huh?
He just kind of liked showing because he grew up down there, and he kind of liked just showing off where the place he grew up. And I like poking around, kind of checking out new areas. So it worked out really good. And I don't know. I enjoy boat ride as much as the next person.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, it's a cool lake. Even caught a flathead down there.
Really?
Yeah, that wasn't very big, but still a flathead. It was like, I don't know, probably only the third or fourth one I'd caught that year so far.
I think it holds a spoonbill record.
I think you're right. Well, we saw a few on the fish finder that they look like great white sharks swimming around down there.
Yeah. Great white. Speaking of that, when are you going to Louisiana?
Ella, so my wife is in France right now. So we haven't been able to talk like a ton. And when we have talked, we haven't really talked about future trips, but it'll probably be the third week of August. But she gets back Wednesday, so I'll ask her about it then.
Going down to Venice to fish, or?
Well, so she travels all over for work, and that's one of them things where people are like, "Oh, you fish all the time." Yes, I do, but I try to maximize my fishing kind of around her travel. It doesn't always work that way, but that's what I try to do. But so she's got a work trip down in New Orleans, and I might be going with her and then fishing the Mississippi while I'm down there.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Venice became one of my bucket list trips here about a couple months ago, or maybe a month ago. Brent Riddle posted some videos, and the blue cats are unbelievable down there. I didn't realize they had them that way.
Yeah, the idea of catching them, like in those in the bay systems, in the estuary systems,
yeah,
where you can get like everything is pretty cool. And I don't know if you guys have ever caught a big redfish, but I mean they kind of fight like a catfish, but they're faster. So, and then probably they have at least as much endurance. So it's just this long, drawn out fight with this fish that's ripping drag off. They put a striper to shame. They really do.
Wow. They're good eating too, aren't they?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he caught, I don't know, somebody will know, but one over 70 and then a pile of them over 50 and all within like an hour. He got tired of reeling them in, went and fished for something else. He caught a couple of those, what do they call them, gaff top sailfin catfish or something too. Those look kind of neat. But.
So fun little side story, and I've said this story on my podcast and stuff, but I actually caught the world record gaff top sail catfish when I was a freshman in college, and I didn't realize it was the world record at the time. I just knew it was a really big one, what I ended up doing was chopping it up, and I caught a 6'7" sandbar shark on it. And then once I got back to the hotel, I pulled up my computer, and I didn't have a smartphone at the time because it would have been like 15 years ago, but pulled up my computer and looked up what the world record gaff top was, and it was like 9 or 10 pounds, and this one was over 11.
Wow.
Yeah.
Used it for bait.
Used him for bait.
That is the most Spencer Bauer story I've ever heard in my entire life. Like that describes you to a T, I think.
You know, if that's the way my reputation is, I feel pretty good about that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Tell you what, if there was a world record that I want to catch, probably, I mean, obviously I would love to catch the world record flathead. I think that would be absolutely awesome. But number 2 on the list would have to be the world record black bullhead.
Yeah, what is that? Like 2.5 pounds, or do they get bigger than that? What's the
No, the world record's like 7 or 8.
Holy cow.
Right.
Where did it come out of? Do you know?
I don't. I'd have to look it up, but I'd 100% get a replica done of that.
That would make a pretty cool replica.
Yeah. Where's the record flathead at from?
The world record?
Yeah.
Kansas.
So it's time to move.
What is it?
123.
Gosh, it's a giant.
I can't even imagine.
That might be a record that's never broke.
I caught a 58, and it's hard for me to picture something over double.
Yeah, you'd have to take your fish in another 58, squish them together, then add more on top of that.
Isn't that insane?
Yeah.
I can't imagine what it would look like. Because the one I caught looked like an ant.
Yeah, once they get over 50, they're just freaky looking.
Yeah, that's incredible.
No, I'll probably just keep dreaming about it. Is my plan.
Right. That's one, like, I know that there's a world record blue swimming around somewhere. There's no question in my mind. There's one bigger than what's been caught.
Agreed.
That's one that's hard to believe that there's one bigger than that. You know?
Imagine how many have been broke off at the boat.
Yeah.
No, there's probably world record blue swimming around in the river you guys are fishing. Maybe not the pool you guys are in, but definitely the river you're in.
Yeah, I wouldn't argue with that at all.
Probably a couple of them. Oh, you had a sudden movement, Seth.
Every once in a while, man, I got a couple guys I fish with. They make me nervous because they do a lot of moving.
Well,
I thought you had a fish for a second.
I could act like it here.
Oh,
He popped off at the boat.
son of a.
That's why he's got these some little. I'm gonna just
Put the whole head on yours.
Yeah, but it's like a little 2-inch shad.
All right, we'll put this. We got a 14-inch shad too. We'll chop him up and use him too.
Give me a giant.
Yeah, if you got all that extra bait, you might as well freshen it up a little bit.
So what we got?
Yeah, give me half that thing.
Serious?
Yes. We only got about 10 more minutes. So we got to beat the mayflies in. What do you think, Spencer? Can we do it in 10 minutes?
I've seen it get done in 10 minutes before. So
The last time the three of us were together, it was the last 10 minutes. So.
You have the extensive tournament resume. So if anybody can do it, it's got to be you.
Well,
Can I put the tail on or no?
yeah. Tail section always goes.
Don't forget to wash this cooler. Huh?
That's some bait there, son. Look at this dripping down my leg, even. That's a good bloody shad.
It's a good sign.
You need to wipe my leg for me? Oh my. What else is anybody saying? What's Kevin saying there? JT, break out the Pam. Dude, what do you think of that? Is the Pam a real deal?
I don't know if it hurt it. Like get a little. I mean, it's kind of oily. Get that oil slick going.
Oh, it works on, what is that, like Sailorville? That,
So you just spray it on like a rag and throw it in, or?
say.
Never tried it on old Sailorville.
That's not the lake. What is the lake? Down by St. Louis. What's it called?
Lake St. Louis.
No.
That's a good one.
Wally fishes there. That's who.
Wally, what do you got for us? Come on.
That's the video I saw. He's got a TikTok where he gets a white dish rag and sprays Pam all over it and catches a bunch of chinook pads.
Wally? You're kidding me. Maybe that's what he's catching all these blue cats on.
It's pretty legendary.
Carlisle.
Carlisle.
Is that down by St. Louis? He guides in St. Louis, but he fishes that lake a lot, so I'm assuming it's down there somewhere.
It's east of there in Illinois. I don't think it's too terribly far though. But it's not too terribly close either.
Yeah.
Let's see. What bumping rods are you guys running tonight?
Ripping Lip Stalker at all times.
Rip and Lip Stalker 7.3. Ken Miller. Mayflies are delicious.
We both have the Komodo 471. What is it? P? 471 P?
471 is the premier bumping reel, in my opinion.
Yeah, I got a power handle on mine. He's got, what do you call that?
Yeah, just the paddle. I'm
Paddle,
not
yeah.
necessarily. I like the paddle because, like, if you're not paying attention, you get a big takedown and you go to like grab. You're gonna grab something here.
Yeah.
If you miss the big power handle, then you're
just
missing
gotta be
that bite. I mean,
gotta be
obviously,
in
Seth
tune
already
with your
missed
equipment.
a bite,
You gotta be in tune with your equipment, you know.
so we know that.
I'm a fan of the double paddle.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Seth's gonna throw his whole thing in the
You know
river
what?
tonight.
You probably would have caught the last 4 bites, Seth, if you had the double paddle.
And that's what I'm
Right.
saying. He gave me the trash bait, and he had the good bait, and he was the one getting the bites. And then
I mean, I can usually set the hook with my thumbs. So I don't need to engage.
You know what Seth has the record on right now? You know what I'm gonna say too. Spencer, think about this. What do you think Seth has the record on? when it
I
comes to
mean,
fishing?
we could go down the line and the most missed fish, most excuses.
How
Oh,
about
come on now.
how about fastest line retrieval?
He's never seen me reel down on
Have
one,
you
I
ever
don't
seen
think.
Seth reel down on a rod?
I've never even hardly seen him get a bite.
I did. I had a channel cat almost to the boat, and he said, "Don't lose it," and it popped off. That was as close as I got to catching a fish with Spencer.
That's
That was-
You did that.
It was a
You did-
50-pound fish when you told me that
No, I
story.
did not.
Spencer, you know it was too.
That was almost too perfect.
I saw you did it to somebody else too recently. Saw videos. So don't lose it. Tink. She gone. You
Yeah.
gotta quit saying that.
I mean, a real angler would have rose above that and landed the fish anyway.
Well, I'm not a real angler. Everybody knows that.
Well, that would make it tough.
I'm just a bad angler that's trying to hang out with people that know what they're doing, because they say you become who your friends are, you know? So,
Yeah, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with type deal.
yeah. So, I don't know. Maybe I need
We both need to pick new
I need to
friends.
cull somebody because it ain't working out.
I mean,
I only spend time with like 3 different people though, so maybe that's the problem.
you need 2 more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I can't say too much because like your biggest flathead is bigger than my biggest flathead.
Yeah, but my second biggest is smaller. We talked about this too. When you ask a PB, you always got to ask what's your third biggest. Alex just missed one. He looked like a giant. His
man.
eyes. I wish you could have saw his face. His eyes got so big. I thought it was a 90.
You know,
you see
Alex, you could have benefited from the old Seth aggressive reel down on there a little
I
bit.
know, right?
Everybody
Golly.
talked a bunch of smack.
Gonna have to get that 10-3-1 bait caster next.
You know what it is? That bait was too big. He couldn't get in his mouth.
Had to be.
It's a jumbo bait.
Look
Look
at
at that.
The size of his head.
Man, that was a good takedown. Did you see it on the video or not?
No, they're not looking at either one of us.
I just saw you reeling violently.
Don't worry, I'll pick him up for you.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna owe Tom $20 if we need. If either of us don't pick one up.
You probably
I'd like
owe Tom more than $20 for all the photos anyway.
Oh,
Yeah, I'd like to be home right now packing and missing this mayfly run. We're gonna get, we're gonna eat a bunch of mayflies on the way home. But
An
we
80
got
would
to-
make it all worth it.
yeah,
There was an 80 caught on this pool last year.
I'm gonna go with
We're looking at the guy that did it too. So
yeah. He puts a lot of time on the water.
that's right. That's what it takes.
I'm just gonna go with it was just a missed fish. It was just a bad bite, bad reaction.
I think it was probably a snag. That's what you told me.
You know, sometimes fish got to help you out too.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're not doing their part today.
that felt good though. Like I'm ready for that.
He usually does. I've never hooked into a fish and been like, man, this really sucks.
Good point.
Jimmy said, "How much skin lost on the thumb?"
I saw smoke coming out.
Donald, I hate you. He said, "Looks like pulled the hook out of his mouth." If I had $1 for every time Charlie and Donald pulled a hook out of a fish's mouth, man, I'm telling you, them guys are notorious for that. I mean, it happens. You know what I mean? I think I'm gonna say that's from
I'm
hanging
sure
out with
that
Charlie.
was my fault too, wasn't
It was a little bit of Seth's fault too, because every once in a while, like I want to reel like he does, really aggressively.
it? Whatever. Don't hate the player, hate the game.
There's got to be a fish in here somewhere.
We've seen 2 get caught. It's not in this boat.
Chadwick asks, "Is Canton better than this pool?" I think this pool is usually better just because they'll migrate up here and stay here for a couple months, and usually,
I haven't really fished Canton.
yeah, I haven't fished this pool very much the last 2 years with travel, but
I've heard Quincy's pretty good, but I've never been down there.
yeah, this is a good pool though.
If I'm fishing somewhere else on the Mississippi, it's going to be south of Alton, I think.
Yeah.
But we live here, so if you live in Canton, fish Canton.
Sound advice, Seth.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
So Tommy Walsh says, according to science. Okay.
We're
This
getting,
is
it's getting
science.
deep here.
The
We got a
tail
guy to
sec-
challenge it.
The tail section has more scent. I'll read that from here. Scent gals.
Glands?
So
I can't see it.
is that Tommy that said that? Can you see? You can't see those comments, Spencer?
I'm looking at him.
It
You're
had
right.
more scent gals.
So Seth's got a tail section on, don't you?
No. I put a body section on. Alex got his PB on a tail.
I have actually. You're right. My PB is, and Donald Mork and Donald, do you agree? They were joking, and I said, "Watch this." I put a small tail section on that had been rotting in the sun most of the day, and bumped 57 right before the day before the tournament.
Right fish, wrong time.
He agrees. We'll never be able to see that fish I just lost.
Oh,
Let me ask you this. Do you consider that fish, this is a good question for you, Spencer, do you consider I lost that fish at the boat? Because technically I'm sitting in the boat.
I mean, we're only in like 6 inches of water, so pretty much.
I don't know. I'd say you're putting me on the spot, but I would say in order to lose a fish at the boat, there has to be less than 10 feet of line out.
I didn't lose it at the boat then.
You know, we give them a lot of flack and stuff, but can you imagine being in a tournament and actually getting a 75 up
Yeah.
the surface right at the transom and it pops off? I mean,
But you know, last
would
year we heard
literally-
the craziest one we heard last year, they didn't lose it at the boat.
Yeah,
they
jumped.
lost it in the boat. It flopped back out to the
yeah,
water.
up on the back deck and it jumped. Said, nope, not today, Satan.
That would, like, could you imagine? See, I'll have the advantage. I'll have the advantage if I ever have any of those stories because, like, I'll videotape all mine. So if there's something crazy happens where a blue cat jumps out of the live well or something, you'll get to watch it on camera.
I mean, I think they're getting smart enough now they can go up and unlatch the live well lid, open the live well and
Yeah.
jump out. I think they're evolving.
So Ken Miller says to lose a fish at the boat, you have to have a hook in it to start with.
You have to touch the leader,
That's definitely a prerequisite.
is what I've always been told. You have
Has
to
to
touch
be
the
in
leader.
it. But what if the fish bit your bait and you fought him all the way to the boat, but he never had the hook?
They just come up and smiled at you and
You know,
swim back
because
down.
I know some
Well-
guys that use paper clips for bait, you know, when they're
Pre-fishing.
pre-fishing.
No. I had a walleye on once, and a muskie T-bones the walleye, and I fight him to the edge of the bank, and then he let go of the walleye when I reached down to grab him. Did I lose that fish at the bank? He never had a hook in him.
You know, I think it's a story. I think it's what you want to stick with, and
Yeah.
I would. It's going to sound much better if you lost it at the boat.
I would just tell people that you caught it and then released it quickly.
And the
Yeah.
crazier, I mean, honestly, the crazier the story, the better it is. I mean,
Yeah.
losing the fish in the boat, like they already had it, they caught it, netted it, put it in the live well, or I don't know, getting ready to put it in the live well,
Had their boat back on the trailer,
and then the fish jumped out.
got out, flopped all the way down the ramp back into the water, and just couldn't weigh it.
Just keep leveling up. I mean, what's the next level after that? If you lose the fish at the boat, you lose the fish in the boat.
I've seen some people that we were concerned that they lost the fish through the the drain.
Yeah,
Is that a fish you're concerned about weighing, though, if it can fit through the drain?
No, it's not. It's not. But they were looking for it and they couldn't find it.
No.
it is funny though.
Cody said an eagle stealing it. That's a good one.
That'd be, or an otter hops in the boat and drags it out of the live well.
I don't know. That sounds pretty American. A bald eagle comes down screeching.
Yeah, like I wouldn't even be mad.
It just says, "This is taxes." You know, you don't have to pay taxes. This is just taxes. You think the IRS would buy that? Be like, I already paid. I gave an eagle a catfish.
Yeah, that was a $30,000 catfish, and the eagle took it.
Yeah. You're welcome, America.
Yep.
Ken said I had a muskie, ate a crappie that I had hooked, had the net in the water twice, but the muskie spit the crappie out. By the way, I kept the crappie.
Not a boy.
But Ken, does that count as a fish lost at the side of the boat because he didn't have a hook in him?
He's thinking about that.
I would have kept the crappie too. That's why we're friends, Ken. I kept that walleye. Just,
Good.
Yeah.
You don't want him to go to waste.
No, he was dead already, so might as well.
Pre-tenderized even.
One of my favorite stories, at least about flathead bait, and I have a lot of stories about flathead bait,
But I used a 16-inch crappie for bait one night. Actually, I've used quite a few, like 14 to 16-inch crappies, and they do get eaten. But anytime they don't get eaten, I reel them in at the end of the night and flay them out, and then I get to eat them. So it's like a win-win all the way around.
You almost hope they don't get bit at some point.
At certain stages of my life, absolutely. Okay, Ken. So now Ken says yes, technically, because I dropped the net on him. So I guess we can confidently all agree that hooking the fish is not a prerequisite to losing him at the side of the boat. There are exceptions.
I'm down with that.
Okay.
I just like to put them in the boat, weigh them.
You know, when I watch people fish on the computer, I like watching them catch fish.
Yeah. There's no famous YouTubers that are like known for losing fish at the boat. Like that's their niche,
No, I don't know any either.
Yeah.
I've definitely never put out a video that was highlighted by a fish getting lost at the side of the boat.
Oh, come on. You don't want to whip another one?
I need to downsize my bait. Crap.
I'm over here, can't get a sniff.
Alex, you're looking focused, bud.
Missed opportunity.
Yeah. Donald wouldn't be impressed with me right now. The net man's fault always, or the guy that grabs the leader, but not the boat flipper.
What if you're fishing by yourself?
That's true.
It's the net man's fault because he wasn't even there.
True. It
Oh,
was your
no.
fault. You
Yeah.
weren't even there.
I'm going to call you next time. Say, where the hell were you?
That's a good one. It's your fault.
If I'm ever by myself out here and I get one over 50 on, you live close enough to the river, I'm probably going to tell you, go put your boat in the water and come help me net this thing.
Nothing wrong with that.
You think you could sit there and wait with that fish in the water till Alex got there?
Definitely. I use Rip and Lips tournament grade circle hooks. They're not coming off.
But he is going to, I guarantee you that he'll have that fish to the boat in 5 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
I want him to really catch a fish tonight just to show you his retrieval.
Yeah, if you're going to skip him across the top, you might as well just keep him going all the way into the boat.
Especially with this boat, the transom kind of steps up. You could probably just pull him right up over the transom and right into the boat.
Build you a little slide off the back.
Yeah, the only other person that was close was Cliff Miller.
No, he set the hook hard. I reeled down on him hard.
Yeah, you're right. He sets the hook really hard. Seth's standing up, so I don't know if that's something serious or what's that mean?
We need thicker hydroturf on this cooler, I think.
Your bum's hurting?
Ken's back with the lost fish thing. How about if you fight the fish to the boat, get eyes on the fish, then it gets off. So the requirement is you have to see the fish for it to count as lost at the boat.
Yeah.
I can get on board with that.
All right, I put you in the hot spot. You're standing up. The mayflies are just starting to come out.
I'm ready. Look at the guy behind us. Imagine doing that right now.
We got.
You got all his lights on.
Oh, cool, buddy.
You get glasses. He's literally straight in front of them.
Oh yeah.
What time is it?
9:02. We're gonna give it
Dang.
We're gonna give it to 9:05.
How many people are still on?
36.
35.
Wow.
I've netted 2 fish over 80 pounds. I'm waiting till someone can net my 80-pound fish.
Who's that?
Timmy, I'll net your 80-pound fish.
Timmy, I'll net that 80 any day, buddy. You call me. You netted one in the Spencer's, right?
I got lucky. Yeah. That was,
What were you nervous
I was so
when
nervous.
Seth took the net from me? Or did
No.
you have
I had 100% confidence in him. I just saw that look in his eyes, and I'm like, he's getting this thing. And he smoked it on the first swing by the boat. Couldn't even see the fish, and he still got it in the net.
I saw a swivel pop up, and I said, "Here we go."
If it wasn't on the first try, he was going in after it. I mean,
Yeah,
I was confident he was going in the water.
There was no luck at all. That was
There
100% honed in focus and skill. Put that fish in the boat.
100%.
Yeah. As soon as I saw that swivel, I'm like, Seth's got the net. Game over.
I saw that sinker fly off, and my heart dropped for a second. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, mine too.
Did you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny though, like you remember things a certain way, and then you go back and watch the video of actually how it actually happened. Like
Oh,
I remember asking Alex like 15 times, "Are you sure you don't want to net it? You want the net? You sure you don't want to net him?" But then you go back and watch the video, and I can't hear that.
Well, because do you
Maybe
remember
I
I
was
was running the trolling motor? That fish was acting goofy, so I was kind of zigzagging the boat
I was so nervous.
to keep it away from the back of the boat.
I knew the way you were acting, it was big. I didn't know it was that big, but
Yeah, I didn't want to say anything. I mean, when you're fighting one in the current, when you're bumping, it's so much different than like I got a few decent ones the days leading up to that, but it's way different when they're not in that fast current. So I wasn't sure.
definitely.
It could have been 40. It could have been 140. Like I had no idea. But moral of the story is you're an excellent net man.
Oh, 100%.
I'll put that on my resume.
You can put me as a reference if they need, if they need to know, they just call me.
Well, Alex just put his bumping rod in the rod holder, so
I've done that a couple times and caught fish. I thought, you know what? I got a minute left. Let's throw it out there. See what happens.
I dig it.
Where are we bumping the Mississippi? We are bumping on Pool 20 on the mighty Mississippi.
what are the odds that we're going to end this live? And smoke
Cody says Seth doesn't crack me up all stream.
Cody?
Trevor, so are you catching them? No. We've had a few bites here and there. That's about it. But we tried. We caught some fresh bait and still had a fun night. Seth had a couple bites. He pulled the hook out early, but
I shook them off. They didn't feel like they were ready to be caught.
yeah, he shook them off. Wasn't big enough, he said.
King Cat might come back to Keokuk one day. I want those fish to be ready to go.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we get to see you here. Well, that'll be about a month then. We'll see you in Muscatine. Right? Yeah,
Yep.
less than a month.
August 5th.
August 5th.
What's the 10th?
Bite? Spencer, I don't know what's going to happen. It's kind of embarrassing.
I mean, I've fished for 2 hours and not caught a fish a couple times in my life.
We fished for like 8 hours not that long ago and didn't catch a fish.
Was I with you?
Or no, he caught some. I didn't catch it.
What was that?
No, we can't disclose bodies of water.
Oh. A secret location. Body of water.
Middle of nowhere.
I don't know if I'll be going back.
I wouldn't.
It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't good.
I had a good day. Just didn't catch any fish.
Right.
Story of my life.
Yeah, I'm better. That's one thing I appreciate about you, Seth. You're kind of in the same boat as me, being better at having a good time than catching fish.
Yeah. Well, if I can't do that, then I'm pretty much screwed because the fish catching just ain't gonna happen for me.
Sure. I get it. I feel you.
You just got to keep at it. Hey, Nooner says you got to get a new hat. He was already ragging on you about it.
Oh, come on now.
Is he talking to Seth?
No, he's talking to you.
Who is this guy?
You're gonna meet him here in one of these tournaments down south.
He's a good dude.
They've been all. Hey, they took 2 from the Yankees going into the All-Star break. I will wear my Cubbies hat pretty proudly today. And they can't lose today because they're not even playing. So it's a good day to be a Cubs fan.
Right. It's not September yet, right?
Yes.
You got one on.
No, it'd be sweet if I did.
Be a lot cooler if you did, but
All right, well, we're gonna wrap this up, get back in. So these mayflies are getting bad. I don't know if you can see them or not on the screen, but thanks for being on with us and chatting it up a little bit. Let's definitely do this again. Maybe next time we get all 3 of us on the boat. That'd be fun. Bumping.
That would be much more fun than me sitting in my basement.
Yeah. But we'll have to plan that. Fishing should be good here for a while still.
Twist my arm.
So thanks again. And again, we've got a lot of events coming up here soon. Actually, in 2 weeks, we'll be in Cape Girardeau. If you have any questions or want to get signed up, let us know. Hung up good. That's what happens. Took my eye off the rod for just a second. One got me hung up.
Yep.
80 pulled you right in some structure. Right?
Pulled me into structure. So yeah, hopefully we see everybody there. The jersey pre-order, actually, I got the new one on tonight. We'll next Monday we'll put that in. Get your name on that for $50. And excited for Cape. So again, thanks everybody for watching. Long one tonight. We'll see you next Monday night. I'm looking to be in Muscatine, going live out there. So yeah, have a good night. Thanks again, Spencer, for being on. And we'll see you all next Monday.